Greetings! Gonna do a thing on Ulm again. So this is a thought on hit points. My current hit point system is a complicated formula that is kind of annoying to figure out. And I watched this video on YouTube fairly recently by this channel called Dorks of Yore. I really like their stuff. They think about things and do more research than I do, which I'm glad people like that exist, because then I can leech information from them and put it in my things. Because what they talk about isn't their own, they're simply talking about stuff that already exists. So in the real world, you have this system that they actually have numbers that you can attribute to levels of injury that a person can survive or not. And so, like, in a single injury, you have things that can harm you with a rating from 1 to 6. 6 being basically instant death, 1 being you stub your toe. And so I want there to be that kind of a system in Ulm. And the second part of that is that you have, like, every human has around, I think it was 76 hit points, essentially. And so what that means is, like, you would have this threshold of, like, 6 as far as the real world system of humans goes. And so if you take 6 hit points with damage at once, you're probably dead, at least in critical condition. But you can take multiple 4 hit point injuries up to like 76, and then once you've taken that many hit points of damage, you're just dead because your body's mutilated at that point. You know, that'd be somebody getting beaten to death with somebody's fists versus getting hit by a truck. You know, one is boom, there's your 6 hit point injury, you're dead. The other is you're beaten and beaten and beaten and beaten until you've taken enough hit points to be dead. So, I'm thinking of developing a system like that for Ulm. And I think it has to take into consideration your physical resistance to damage as well as your mental tolerance for pain. Because, I mean, somebody who's kind of built up a resistance for pain and has the willpower to kind of fight through the pain, such as like a highly trained boxer, they're going to be able to take way more punches than a average person who, you know, doesn't train to get hit in the face. You know, they're going to be able to take more hits, even though it might not physically do necessarily more damage to your body. Because we're all human, you know. A broken jaw is a broken jaw, but the boxer might be able to fight through it and keep going. So, the hit points need to have your health and your will go into it. I think health will be more, and then I'm thinking your strength will probably factor into it a little bit too. Simply because somebody who has more muscle mass is going to be able to take more damage before they die. Generally speaking. So might, health, will factor into it. Possibly grace. Does that make sense? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I would love your thoughts, so please send them to me. Bye-bye.